প্রভু তোমার পথে চলি আমি, পথই আমার বাসা, আমার পথ আশা ভরসা। প্রভু তোমার পথে চলি আমি, পথই আমার বাসা, আমার পথ আশা ভরসা। পথেই আমার যাওয়া আসা, পথই ভালোবাসা, আমার পথ আশা ভরসা। প্রভু তোমার পথেই চলি আমি, পথই আমার বাসা, আমার পথ আশা ভরসা। সুপ্রভাতে কোন নাদি সুপ্রভাতে ভেসেছিলুম পথের স্রোতে। কোন নাদি সুপ্রভাতে ভেসেছিলুম পথের স্রোতে। উর্মিরেখার অঙ্ক পাতে, উর্মিরেখার অঙ্ক পাতে পেলুম চলার নেশা, আমার পথ আশা ভরসা। প্রভু তোমার পথেই চলি আমি, পথই আমার বাসা, আমার পথ আশা ভরসা। অনাদি হে প্রাচীন পুরুষ, অনাদি হে প্রাচীন পুরুষ নিকশিত হেমকলুষ অনাদি হে প্রাচীন পুরুষ নিকশিত হেমকলুষ অনু আমি তব ভাবের ফানুষ অনু আমি তব ভাবের ফানুষ পথে কান্না হাসা আমার পথ আশা ভরসা প্রভু তোমার পথেই চলি আমি পথই আমার বাসা আমার পথ আশা ভরসা পথেই আমার যাওয়া আসা পথই ভালোবাসা আমার পথ আশা ভরসা প্রভু তোমার পথেই চলি আমি পথই আমার বাসা আমার পথ আশা ভরসা আমার পথ আশা ভরসা আমার পথ আশা ভরসা
Namaskar and a warm welcome to the fourth presentation in the footprints of P.R. Sarkar to celebrate his centenary. We are deeply honored by your presence. My name is Rita Lalu. I will be your MC today. I begin by paying salutations to my revered Guru, Sri P.R. Sarkar, also known as Sri Sri Anandamurti Ji, and lovingly called Baba by his devotees. In his numerous discourses and discussions, essays and books, he has uncovered the glorious truth of ancient yogic science through the light of modern science and rational thinking. All of his writings will tell the world about the need and importance of yogic science. Many of the physical and mental diseases which plague humanity today can be prevented or cured simply by adopting a way of life which is in harmony with the true needs of our physical body. P.R. Sarkar's biopsychology represents an integrated view of the biology of nerves and endocrine glands and their relationship to mind, psychology, and spirituality. Our first presenter is Tapasi Jitu, and her topic is biopsychology.
Baba Nanti Bala, Baba Nanti Bala.
We're just gonna have one minute. Well, if you have said
Great. I don't know. I can't hear me.
but every day. Okay, maybe I should go outside.
Namaskar, everybody. Apologies for the technical difficulty. We'll sort out the sound in a minute.
I'll share it.
I want him to know that.
I don't know how to put it on the screen. No, I got it here.
Namaskar and good day, everyone. Thank you, Sister Rita, for the introduction. Our first topic for today is biopsychology. Biopsychology comes from the two scientific fields of study. First, biology, which is the scientific study of life. The second, psychology, is the scientific study of the human mind. So, biopsychology is the scientific field of study that examines the relationship between biology and psychology and how they influence behavior and cognition. In yogic points of view, biopsychology is the science how the body and mind are related and what is the origin of emotions and how emotions are produced within us. Biopsychology describes each and every emotion and the physical counterparts of the chakras, glands, nerves, and internal organs. Actually, biopsychology is a vast topic, so this presentation focuses more on chakras. The purpose of this presentation is for us to learn how to control vrittis coming from those chakras through yogic practices, so we can begin to unravel any block that may prevent the unfolding into our highest potential as a human being. As I have told you, that this presentation focuses more on chakras. So what is a chakra? Chakra literally means spinning wheel and refers to the energy center in our human body. According to the yogic point of view, our body's chakras are a convergence of energy, thoughts, feelings, and physical body. Our consciousness gets projected through these wheels, and this largely determines how we experience reality from our emotional reactions, our desires or aversions, our level of confidence or fear, even the manifestation of physical symptoms. There are 7 major chakras in our body and are connected to endocrine glands like pineal gland, pituitary, thyroid, thymus, pancreas, adrenal, and gonads, which are the ovaries and the testes. These chakras have no physical existence. It's like the mind. The mind needs a brain to function and do its job in this physical world, so as the chakras need the endocrine glands. Each chakra has a set of vrittis. So what is a vritti? Vritti means propensity, tendency, or emotion. These emotions come from the glands, and the glands are the hormone producers, and the vibration from the hormones creates vrittis or emotions that disturb the equilibrium of the mind. Since chakras have no physical existence, so yogis use lotus flowers as representation for chakras. As you can see in the slide, each lotus flower has a set of petals. So these lotus flowers are the chakras and the petals are the vrittis or emotions. The first chakra, Muladhara, has 4 petals, so 4 vrittis or emotions. Swadhisthana, 6 emotions. Manipura, 10. Anahata, 12. Vishuddha, 16. Agya, 2. And Sahasrara has 1,000 of emotions. Since there are many to mention, so I just mentioned a few examples of emotions. Positive emotions like hope, love, conscience, and repentance. Negative emotions like hatred, vanity, fear, and envy. So those are all the vrittis or emotions. Now let's go back to the 7 major chakras. The first chakra is Muladhara or root chakra. It is found at the tip of the spine. It governs the earth element or solid factor in our body. It is associated with adrenal gland. Muladhara chakra keeps us grounded into embodied reality, physically strong and secure. This chakra governs our family ties and feelings of survival, belonging, and guardedness. Our earliest memories are stored in the Muladhara chakra, including whether or not our basic needs were met. The Muladhara chakra holds our instinctual urges around food, sleep, sex, and survival. It's the place where Kundalini lies dormant. Kundalini is an inherent spiritual energy that lies dormant in every human being. And this Kundalini moves up, and when it reaches the topmost chakra, the person gets realization or enlightenment. When this chakra is blocked or out of balance, we can become needy, have low self-esteem, or have self-destructive behaviors. When Muladhara is in balance, we feel strong and confident. We can stand up on our own 2 feet and take care of ourselves. Second chakra, Swadhisthana or sacral chakra. This chakra's location is at the level of the genital. Its element is water. It corresponds with our reproductive and sexual organs and represents fluidity, creativity, and fertility. We can take a literal interpretation of this or associate this chakra with whether or not we feel deserving of a pleasurable, abundant, and creative life. When this chakra is out of balance, we can feel emotionally unstable, guilty, or hard on ourselves. When Swadhisthana is in balance, we feel creative, positive, and receptive to change. Like the ocean and its tides, we are in the flow. Third chakra, Manipura or solar plexus chakra, located at the navel. This energy center is associated with the pancreas, the element of fire, and an individual power and purpose. Think of this chakra as our body's energy powerhouse, as it holds a vast amount of our physical vitality. When the Manipura is in balance, we feel alive and have the self-esteem and confidence to take action and be productive. When it's blocked, we lack courage, have low self-esteem, and feel stagnant and inert. By working on this chakra, we can awaken our true personal inner power and work through our fear of taking risks. The fourth chakra, Anahata or heart chakra, is in the center of our chest. According to yoga tradition, it is the very seat of the soul, associated with the thymus gland and the element of air. We can imagine the heart chakra as the meeting ground for the vast spectrum of our human embodied organs. The heart chakra has the capacity to radiate the highest aspects of human being: compassion, unconditional love, and total faith in the divine. But it is also has the capacity to radiate our deepest feeling of insecurity, disappointment, loneliness, and despair. When the heart chakra is blocked, you become possessive and codependent and may form dysfunctional relationships. You may also stay isolated for fear of rejection. When you stimulate the anahata chakra, you can heal past wounds by reopening your heart, learn to love unconditionally, and form healthy relationships. The fifth chakra, Vishuddha or throat chakra, is the energetic home of speech and hearing. It's associated with the thyroid gland that controls metabolism. On a spiritual level, this chakra is all about expanding our conversation to the divine. When this chakra is blocked, we may feel like we cannot find our voice nor our truth. We may also be overly talkative and not listen to others. When this chakra is open and stimulated, our voice moves through the space to help communicate our emotions in healthy ways. We also become better at listening to others and honoring their personal truths without judgment. The sixth chakra, Agya or third eye chakra. Its element is light. This chakra is located between the eyebrows and associated with our intuition or the sixth sense. It governs how the rest of the chakras function. It is the meeting point between two important energetic streams in the body, the Ida and Pingala nadis, and the place where the mind and the body converge. When Agya chakra is functioning well, we have insight and we trust our inner wisdom to face life challenges and choices. Physically, it is connected to the pituitary gland, growth and development. When this chakra is blocked, we feel close-minded, too attached to logic, untrusting, and cynical. Working on the sixth chakra opens our mind to the bigger picture and different perspectives, and it helps us receive the wisdom that cannot be seen or heard by ordinary senses. The last chakra, the seventh of the chakra, is Sahasrara or crown chakra. Its element is cosmic energy. This chakra connects to the beauty itself and the spiritual realm. It helps us to understand who we are beyond our physical self, that we are a spiritual being having a human experience. This chakra links us to everything that is beyond our ego. It is everything that lies beyond our linear intellect and personal needs, preferences, and emotional experiences. It is the gateway and source point into enlightenment. The crown chakra is not located in the body, but actually hovers above the crown of the head. When the crown chakra is closed, we think happiness can only come from the outside, and then we suffer. Working on this chakra helps us to feel free in any situation. So those are the contents of our first topic for today, which is biopsychology. And maybe you might wonder what is the significance of this topic in our daily life. Well, it is very significant if we want to maintain our physical and mental health in balance. As we can see, people around the world are suffering from stress. Many things that can lead us to stress, like separation from loved ones, losing a job or work-related stress, financial problem, etc. If we could not deal with all those stressors, then we might succumb to physical and mental illness. So we have to strive to maintain our physical and mental health in harmony by unblocking all those chakras and regulating hormone secretions. And we can do it through some yogic practices like meditation and breathing exercises that not only help to balance the secretions of the hormones, but they also allow the body to experience deep relaxation, dissipating the impact of the accumulated stress in the body. Then another yogic practice is asana or yoga posture. With regular practice, asanas keep the body healthy and cure many diseases by correcting the defective glands and balancing hormonal secretions. The last but not the least that I would like to mention is the yogic diet or vegetarianism. Food has a tremendous impact in our body and mind, and people are now beginning to realize it. That is why vegan or vegetarianism are now popular around the world. As what the saying goes, we become what we eat. And why is that? It's because food like meat, egg, fish, onion, garlic, and mushroom have a strong vibration, and this strong vibration activates more the negative emotions from the chakras. And food like vegetables, fruits, beans, lentils, and nuts have subtle vibration, which activates more the positive emotion from our chakras. So we should be careful what we put in our body. And remember the popular phrase from Hippocrates, "Let thy food be thy medicine, and medicine be thy food." This phrase emphasizes the importance of nutrition to prevent or cure diseases. So that's all for our topic, and I would like to end this presentation by quoting what our spiritual master, Sri Sri Anandamurti, said. The main purpose of human beings coming here to this earth is to do sadhana or meditation. By spiritual sadhana, you may bring about certain changes in your nervous system, nerve cells, and nerve fibers, control the secretions of the hormones from different glands and subglands, and become elevated superhuman and go beyond the periphery of the common psychology. Namaskar. Thank you for sharing your precious time to join our program today. Namaskar.
Thank you, Tapasi, for that enlightening presentation. I kindly request that you keep your mics muted during presentation. Thank you. According to Anandamurti ji, yoga is a universal spiritual practice which is blended with Tantra and the practices of which are free from religious fanaticism, superstitions, and blind faith. He envisioned a future where every individual will perform spiritual practices and move together towards the same spiritual goal. Our next presenter is Amrit Lalu, and his topic is dogma.
Namaskar and good day. Namaskar, Sita ji. Are we ready for this?
Namaskar, Amraji. Yes, we are.
Thank you, Sita ji. You know, Sita is my beautiful niece, and she's very social-minded. She provides us with support, support to us who are frail and old and technologically challenged. Thank you, Sita, for your help. Thank you, Madam MC. And thank you all. Am I audible, people? Sita?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, thank you for joining in this journey, following in the footprints of Shri P.R. Sarkar. For those who are using the mobile phone, you may have to pinch your slide, pinch and enlarge. Those who are using laptops and computers, I think these slides are quite clear. My topic today is dogma, and I drew my inspiration from the following. The first one is Mind Grows in Magnitude by Shri P.R. Sarkar. And this is all about the expansion of mind. The second one is the ever-expanding domain of microcosm. And this growth is taking place in all life forms, from the tiny amoeba to human beings, all animals, plants, whatever has a mind, this mind is ever expanding. The third one is beware of dogma. Dogma is one of those boxes that we create that are hampering the expansion of mind. There are many others, amongst which we find sentiments, superstitions, and fears. These are all boxes in the mind. And one of the boxes that is most dangerous is what we call dogma. In his book, Neo-Humanism, Shri P.R. Sarkar, he speaks on all these boxes, about all these boxes within the mind, and how to liberate the intellect from these small boxes that hamper the growth of the mind. Now the question arises, what is dogma? Dogma is an idea like all other ideas. But dogma is an idea which has rigid boundaries. It is an idea that gives no scope for rational thinking. There is no scope for questioning, however damaging it may be. Dogmas have short-term impacts and long-term impacts. But before giving examples of dogmas and how they affect how it affects the mind, we want to look at the progress of the human intellect. If you look at this one here, the life of man is an ever-evolving circle which from a ring imperceptibly small rushes on all sides outwards to new and larger circles, and that without end. Now you may all know the Greek guy Atlas. You know, he has the world on his shoulders, and he's carrying the world on his shoulders. What's carrying him? It is said that Atlas is standing on a turtle. So the question arises, what is that turtle standing on? It could be another turtle. And that the other turtle is standing on another turtle. And it's all turtles all the way down. That means the universe is full of turtles like you and I. Now this life of man is an ever-evolving circle. You know, the two cells get together in the womb, they combine and they form a circle. And a multitude of circles are formed when this tiny zygote develops in the womb. A multitude, millions, if not billions of circles. There are small circles, there are larger circles. And when this baby is born, it forms another circle around its mother. And when dad is included, the circle becomes bigger. And when other siblings are added, the circle becomes even more bigger. So this is ongoing. When the child goes to school or meets friends, the child forms newer and larger circles. The growth is endless. From birth, we begin to seek and explore. The quest is endless. Mind wants to expand. Not only that, mind wants unbridled expansion. But there are some things that hamper this expansion of mind. Some of them include fear, superstition, and dogma. Now, fear is something, is about what is going to happen in the future. It hasn't yet happened. And we have a fear. It may happen in a second, it may happen in a day, it may happen in weeks. So the fear festers in the mind and it hampers the progress of mind, the growth of mind. There is a fear of failure, there's fear of change, and we all know that change is the only constant. Change is permanent. My one lecturer would say, if you worry, you die. If you don't worry, you still die. So, and he paused, he says, why die? And we were stunned by his answer, you know, it's supposed to be why worry, he would say, why die? Now there are superstitions that hamper the progress of mind, certain belief systems based on traditions and so forth. But the most dangerous amongst these is dogma. There is dogma of gender, where feminine is regarded as being inferior. Shri P.R. Sarkar emphasizes that male and female are the wings of a bird. A bird cannot fly with one wing. Similarly, society cannot progress unless the status of women in the society is improved. There is racial superiority, and this racial superiority has resulted in genocide. To that end, Sarkar has expounded neo-humanism. He emphatically states that the human race is one and indivisible. There is only one human race, the human race. Sarkar has boldly delved in the complex world of economics. He found the economic disparity of capitalism to be untenable. He condemns the claims of communist dogma to bring about an equal distribution of wealth whilst owning everything. He proposes a new economic order based on an equitable distribution of resources. His Proutistic economy is a compassionate one. It is a people's economy, where all are guaranteed the basic requirements for survival. Prout is a subject of study by economists and is added to the curriculum in many universities. Last but not least, he addresses the prevalence of religious dogmas. These religions are made up of belief systems that are not within the human experience. We speak of hell and heaven. Where is hell? Where is heaven? It is not within the experience of the human existence. We talk of reincarnation, which is also not within the human experience. It is best to propagate and say, I do not know. What we do not know is borderless. What we do know is limited. When I say I do not know, knowing becomes a possibility. As you see from the next cartoon illustration, aliens are looking at the earth and there's turmoil on this earth, bombs are exploding, the earth is in a state of warfare. And the alien says, as near as I can tell, they're fighting over which religion is most peaceful. Religions tend to divide. Sri VideoRcrdng revitalized the ancient word dharma. Some say there is Hindu dharma, there is Christian dharma, there's Muslim dharma. But Sarkar says there is only one dharma for all human beings. And what is dharma? Dharma is an innate quality, like fire burns. The dharma of the human mind is to expand. This dharma is the property of all human beings. Whilst the religions divide, dharma unites. Sri VideoRcrdng calls it Manava Dharma or human dharma. By following human dharma, that encourages the expansion of mind, one is free from the limitations of fear, superstitions, and dangerous dogma. His slogan is Sa Vidya Ya Muktiya. Education is that which leads to liberation. Please see the entire video that's going to be shown now. It is both beneficial and enlightening.
Hello everyone, you're watching Wisdom Shots. Once an unhappy young man came to an old master and said, "My life is miserable and sad, give me a solution." So the old master instructed the unhappy young man to put a handful of salt in a glass of water. And then he asked to drink it. "How does it taste?" the master asked. "It's terrible," and he spat. So the master smiled and asked the young man to take another handful of salt and put it in a nearby lake. "So now drink from the lake. How does it taste?" "It is fine," he replied. "Do you taste the salt?" "Not really," said the young man. So the master sat beside this troubled young man, took his hands and said, Your problems in life, your pain, your fear, your challenges, your stress are like pure salt. Not more, not less. Pain is inevitable in life, stress is inevitable in life, but suffering is optional. The amount of pain or suffering we taste in life depends on the container we put it into. When you are in pain, the only thing you can do is to enlarge your sense of things. So stop being a glass, become a lake. So the story ends here. The question is how to become a lake, how to have that big mind, strong mind. So nice philosophical stuff, right? But how to practice it? Let me start with what is mind. I don't remember the source of this information. I read this long time back and it stayed with me ever since. So in that book or article it says our mind is not inside our body. Our body is inside our mind. Our mind is really big and you have the power to expand your mind. You can expand your mind and you can even touch people. Our mind is an energy field around us. You can have a small mind with small thoughts and problems, like that glass, or you can have a big mind, like a lake, with great thoughts and feelings. Your ability to handle the stresses in life depends on the size of the container or the size of our mind. Recently, I was listening to an interview podcast, The Ranveer Show. So he was interviewing A.R. Rahman. So Ranveer asked this question to A.R. What is the role of spirituality in your life and how did it help you? Rahman's answer was profound. He said, I was an introvert, a shy kid, but everything changed when I connected to the source. After embracing spirituality, my mind became big. Listen to this.
If the mind gets refreshed, the mind takes a larger purpose in life, then you see many things manifesting. Your actions manifest beautiful things. And if the most strongest man, if you have a small mind, vice versa, the opposite happens. So I'm here, a very small person, timid, low self-esteem, inferiority complex. When the mind became empowered, the mind was seeing bigger things. Under that shadow of that spirituality, everything reflected in my life. The decisions I took and the confidence with every step, it was about praying and wishing that it'll go well for either for me, for other people.
Beautiful, isn't it? So one more thing he said in this same interview was, the ultimate meditation is, when you mingle with the divine. He said there is 70,000 screens between you and God. And each screen is removed by your positive thoughts and actions. Your action of becoming humble, your action of killing your ego and surrendering, your action of refraining from illegal activities, your action of not being greedy, your action of being empathetic, your action of showing respect to other living beings and not harming them, having good intentions and positive thoughts. By these actions, each screen goes off and you finally mingle with the divine. So by these actions, your mind becomes bigger and bigger, stronger and stronger, like a lake. See, the core teaching of all religions is to make your mind big and strong. And if you look at yoga, right, the word itself means union of individual consciousness with that of the universal consciousness. Small mind to big mind. Now, all these asanas and all are just one part, but for real union, Patanjali teaches yama and nema, right? A set of personal values and principles. And yama and nema principles are very close to what Rahman said about clearing screens and screens to reach the God. See, whatever pain we have in life, problems, sufferings, the solution is to make our mind bigger, stronger, to face those challenges. If your mind is small and if the problem is big, that's when we suffer. As Wayne Dyer says, there's a spiritual solution to all our problems. So every day find time for meditation, prayer, or any rituals to connect with the universe. If you have ever practiced any form of meditation in your life, you know what I'm talking about. Whenever we meditate, we expand our mind. But when you feel depressed or sad, you close yourself. Your mind becomes smaller and smaller. When you think of others, when you love others, when you help others, your mind expands. If you think only about yourself, your mind becomes small. So please make a conscious effort to put love, peace in above everything else, to maintain that high vibration. Think and give away thoughts of peace and love in any conflict situation. Whenever you feel low or sad, know that your lower vibration will attract more of the same. You can maintain a high vibration and expand your mind by prayer, meditation, chanting, doing something engaging, or even helping other people. So whatever works for you. Stop giving attention and energy to negative thoughts. See, all of us are going through real tough time right now, right? A lot of negativity around us. So like the way we take vaccines to protect our body, it's also important to protect our mind, heal our mind by connecting to some source which gives you positivity. Our mind is everything. So be the energy you want to attract. Have a big, strong mind. So my sincere prayers, for a better tomorrow for all of us. Thank you so much for watching. Stay strong, stay safe.
Thank you for watching. I hope the presentation here was beneficial and enlightening. The new buzzword in the world is an economic reset. Do we need an economic reset? Of course we do. But the reset should be people-driven. The reset should be people-centered. The reset should be designed in such a way that the economic divide is reduced. Also, we need what we call a mental realignment, where we adopt ideas that are mind-enhancing, ideas that are free from the bondages of limitations, such as dogma, narrownesses, such as sentiment, and superstition. The recommended read is Neo-Humanism, The Liberation of the Intellect by Sri P.L. Sarkar. That ends the presentation on dogma. Thank you all for listening. Thank you, Madam MC. Thank you, Sita Ji, for your help in putting this presentation together.
Thank you, Amrit, for an amazing presentation and a very powerful message. The world today faces a crisis. That crisis is spiritual, a crisis of the soul, of the heart, expressed in the physical world in the variety of collective circumstances that face the planet today. Humanity cannot currently be divided. The climate, the care of the planet, or the lack thereof, all of these problems affect all of humanity. To rise above the demise of humanity and to rescue humanity will require humanity to rise in universal love for all beings. Our next presenters are Devchand Ajodia and Radha Ajodia, and their topic is the future of human civilization.
Namaskar everybody, welcome. Today's presentation is primarily based on the contribution and discourses given by Shri Prabhat Ranjan Sarkar, fondly also known as Shri Shri Annamurtiji, or Baba, which means father, to his disciples. A spiritual guru, philosopher, and composer of 5,018 songs, mostly in the Bengali language. He founded Ananamarga, the Path of Bliss, in 1955 as a spiritual and social organization that continues to offer instruction in meditation and yoga. Sarkar developed his system of spiritual practice as a synthesis of Vedic and Tantric philosophies. He denounced materialism and capitalism and described the universe as a result of consciousness coming under the bondage of its own nature. Some of Sri Anandamurtiji's revolutionary contributions are Prout, a revolutionary socio-economic structure. Microvita, the ultimate particles of consciousness associated with the tiniest portion of the perceived and or conceived panorama of creation we belong to. Neo-humanism. Neo-humanism is the practice of love for all created beings of the universe, animate and inanimate. It is a spirit of humanism extended to all, the elevation of humanism to universalism. Anandasutram is a book composed in Sanskrit by Sri Anandamurtiji in 1961. In this book, the author summarizes the entire Anandamarga ideology. The text consists of 5 chapters of 85 sutras describing the universe, the mind, the spirit, and the foundation of a healthy society. Following is our interpretation of Baba's vision of the future of human civilization. Modern minds are often perplexed by the fear and doubt of the extinction of the human race within a short period. People deem that civilization is passing through a very critical phase and there is no possible escape from its total annihilation. But this can't happen. In the history of the world, there have been 2 significant ice ages from a point of view of the development of life. Before the first of these ice ages, there were hardly any developed animals, only undeveloped animals. There was snow and ice. After the first ice age, there were big advances and so many ages. Animals became gigantic. After the second significant ice age, gigantic animals disappeared. Smaller animals came. We know another ice age is coming on the earth. It will bring an entire change in the structural side of the earth. Before the coming ice age, there will be intellectual change and great biological change in the human beings and animals. In every entity, animate and inanimate, we will find change in the seasonal order, in the psychic arena, and in the socio-economic, political, and cultural spheres, in biological structures. All are undergoing metamorphosis. The poles also started shifting. Are you ready?
Both individuals and society are dependent on 3 factors for their existence. These are Asti, Bhati, and Ananda. Asti means existence. This refers to your home, food, clothing, education, and medical facilities. The term Bhati means development and progress. The mere earthworm, for example, has existed for hundreds of millions of years, yet it does not signify existence in the true sense of the term. That is because there has been no progress and development. This is as opposed to a bud. A bud blossoms into a flower. This is what you may call its development. The purpose of Bhati or development is the attainment of Ananda or bliss. The term Ananda connotes infinite happiness, the equipoise of pleasure and pain, the perfect mental peace. The absence of any of the aforesaid factors may cause a great consternation or convulsion in individual or social life. The Earth came into existence tens of millions of years ago. Though from the archaeological point of view, it is still in its infancy. One day or the other, it is bound to meet its Waterloo. Will this mean the extinction of the human race? South Africa has recently seen devastation and acts of human behavior which has not been experienced before. These acts of violence and destruction have caused unprecedented destruction to property and have left thousands of South Africans questioning our leadership, our morality, and the current state of affairs as a human society. On the other side of the planet, Europe is experiencing unprecedented floods that is caused by climate change and global warming as a result of human behavior. All of the devastating acts are caused by man's greed and lack of moralistic leaders. Numerous factors are needed for the development of a group of people, but the following 6 are the most important of them. There should be a spiritual ideology in the life of both the individual and the collective body. Much of your energy is misused due to the ignorance of your own self and the destination towards which you are moving. This misuse of energy is bound to cause destruction. The second factor for the progress of society is spiritual cult, a sadhana process. Everyone has got a physical structure. The problem with every individual is to produce more and more ectoplasmic stuff by the body and then to convert it into consciousness. There should be a proper process for this conversion. Spiritual cult consists of the conversion of the 5 rudimental factors into ectoplasmic stuff and then into consciousness through a special scientific process. This is a process of metamorphosis. Spiritual cult, therefore, is indispensable. But only spiritual ideology and spiritual philosophy will not do. The third factor, which is a blending of Asti and Bhati, is a socio-economic theory. There should be a prior knowledge regarding the social structure, the distribution of wealth and its growth. For want of this knowledge, there can't be a solid ground for the construction of a social edifice. The fourth one is social outlook. All living creatures in this manifest universe are the children of the same cosmic entity. They are the progeny of the same supreme progenitor. Naturally, they are all bound in a thread of fraternal relations. This is the central spirit. A socio-economic theory is of no use but for this fraternal feeling. The implementation of this theory is an impossibility without sadhana. The fifth factor for the progress of society is for it to have its own scripture. There is a need for the company of elevated persons or satsang in all spheres of life. The authority whose contact means satsang for you is the Shastra. That which elevates society by dint of shashan is called satsang. We should have a Shastra of our own. The last, but not least, important factor for the progress of society is for it to have its own preceptor. The entire social structure is dependent on these 6 factors. Bhati or progress is meaningless without them. The weakness of one among them may jeopardize the very existence of Bhati. From ancient times, many groups of people came into existence. Some of them somehow managed to drag on. Some became extinct and some continue to exist in a metamorphosed form. An example of this would be the Egyptians. Egypt was fully developed in the spheres of art, architecture, and science. It is the Egyptians who made the pyramids, which needed subtle geometrical knowledge. Moreover, they were also very advanced in the sphere of civilization. Despite this, they could not prevent their defeat. Today's Egypt is the Egyptian form of Arab civilization. The cause of death of its older form was the lack of the aforesaid 6 factors. In the future also, for want of the 6 factors of Bhati, the extinction of a concerned group of people is sure to happen. But where these factors are present, there the movement is towards Ananda or divine bliss, and due to this movement, the chance of their elimination becomes null. Such groups which have the 6 factors in their possession will be able to produce Satvipras. Satvipras are those whose all efforts are directed towards the attainment of Ananda. They are also conscious of Asti and don't lack in the 6 factors of Bhati. They are strong in morality and are always ready to wage war against immoral activities. Tapasiddhi is an impossibility without the 6 factors of Bhati. Those who strictly adhere to the principles of morality are ensconced in tapa and are ready to wage war against immoralists are Sadvipras. Lord Shiva was great because his Trishul was always ready to strike at the immoralists. Lord Krishna was great because his arrows were meant to curb the anti-human and immoral elements. He also encouraged the moralists to wage war against the immoralists. They were not only Sadvipras, but also the parents of Sadvipras, the great Sadvipras. Food shortage is not a new problem. Only Sadvipras and not the politicians and experts can save the world from it. By making a useless fuss over problems, one will not ease the trouble. The spirit to fight against all odds alone can solve the problems confronting human beings. March ahead and wage war against all difficulties, every impediment. Victory is sure to embrace you. Difficulties and encumbrances cannot be more powerful than your capacity to solve them. You are the children of the great cosmic entity. Be a Sadvipra and make other Sadvipras also.
What does all this mean? I woke up one morning and found that the world that I knew had come to a halt and had changed forever, caused by the COVID-19 devastation. I woke up a few months later and found my country in flames and was facing great devastations. This was a result of immoralist leadership. I came to the conclusion that I am living in a world governed by democracy filled with violence, famine, wars, injustice, and disparities in all fields of society. Our planet can provide for all the needs of people, not for the greed of people. Capitalism is based on greed. That is why it survived. But it will come to an end. We will have only one alternative, a new socio-economic structure. That is proud. There is no other. For the first time in the history of humanity, do we have the tools and knowledge necessary to create the perfect human society, a society free of exploitation, hunger, poverty, and all social evils and disparities. The aim is to have one global government that will provide for the needs and requirements of the entirety of humanity and to ensure the well-being of the entire planet based on the principles and guidelines of Prout and neo-humanism. The leaders of this government will have to be Sadvipras, social moralists that will work in the interest of all humanity and the entire planet, and not for themselves. They will rid our planet of all its ills and make our planet flourish in all aspects, that is, animate and inanimate. The 6 factors required to create a crimson dawn that will lead into the golden age is at our disposal, and we have to utilize and implement it. This has already started. The golden age is upon us. I'm calling on all moralists from all walks of life to stand up and be heard, because we are the future of human civilization. We are responsible for the coming of the golden age. Make yourself a Sir Vipra and others. This is the key to a perfect human society. Thank you all for listening. Good day and namaskar.
There comes a time when we hear a certain call,
when the world must come together as one.
There are people dying. Oh, and it's time to lend a hand to life, the greatest gift of all. We can't go on pretending day by day that someone somewhere will soon make a change. We are all a part of God's great big family. And the truth, you know, love is all we need. We are the world. We are the children. We are the ones who make a brighter day. So let's start giving. There's a choice we're making. We're saving our own lives. It's true, we'll make a better day. Just you and me. Oh, send them your heart, so you know that someone cares, and the life will be stronger and free. As God has shown us by turning stone to bread, so we all must lend a helping hand. We are the world. We are the children. We are the ones who make a brighter day. So let's start giving. There's a choice we're making. We're saving our own lives. It's true, we'll make a better day. Just you and me. And when you're down and out and seem no hope at all, but if you just believe, there's no way we can fall. Well, we know that it seems so lonely come when we stand together as one. We are the world. We are the children. We are the ones who make a brighter day. So let's start giving. There's a choice we're making. We're saving our own lives. It's true, we make a better day. Just you and me. We are the world. We are the children. We are the ones who make a brighter day. So let's start giving. There's a choice we're making. We're saving our own lives. It's true, we make a better day. Just you and me. We are the world. We are the children. We are the ones who make a brighter day. So let's start giving. There's a choice we're making. We're saving to make a brighter day. So let's start giving. There's a choice to make it. We're saving our own lives. It's true, we'll make a better day. Just you and me.
That was brilliant. Thank you, Devchand and Radha. Kirtan is the singing of a mantra aloud while ideating on the Supreme Being. It inculcates the feeling of bliss and prepares the mind for meditation, because in performing it all, the motor and sensory organs are engaged and directed towards the Supreme. Malati will enlighten you further on aspects of Kirtan, followed by a short guided meditation.
Namaskar, my brothers and sisters. I salute the divinity within you with all the divine charms of my mind and with all the love and cordiality of my heart. Today, I will be speaking about the meaning of the mantra Baba Nam Kevalam, introduced by our beloved Baba, as well as the benefits of Kirtan. Baba in Sanskrit language means most beloved. Nam means name, and Kevalam means only. Put together, it means only the name of the most beloved. The ideation of this mantra is everywhere I look, in everything I feel, hear, taste, smell, I perceive that one supreme consciousness which pervades all things. Kirtan is the singing of a mantra aloud while ideating on the Supreme Being. To get the most benefit, it is ideal to do it with Lalita Marmika dance. This dance was introduced 7,000 years ago by Parvati, Lord Shiva's wife. Kirtan inculcates the feeling of bliss and prepares the mind for meditation, because in singing and dancing Kirtan, all the motor and sensory organs are engaged and directed towards the Supreme. In our Guru's words, quote, when you are doing Kirtana, you ascribe godhood to all your internal and external objectives. Slowly, your very structure, your very being, your very sense of existence will be converted. That's why it is said, Kevalam. Kevalam means it is the way, it is the route, there is no alternative, unquote. Kirtan can be done anywhere, anytime. It has many benefits. It purifies and prepares the mind for meditation, accelerating the speed of movement toward the Supreme. Because of the mental
Why is getting too cold?
one easily finds solutions to problems while performing it, as well as relief from physical and psychic ailments. Personally, Kirtan strengthens my feeling of devotion, compassion, confidence, and deep love for the divine. There are days when I hear Kirtan playing in my mind as soon as I get up in the morning. When this happens, the vibrational flow of Kirtan resonates throughout the rest of my day. Now, let us do a short guided meditation together. Sit in a comfortable position and try to keep your back straight. Now close your eyes. Relax your feet. Relax your legs, hips. Relax your spine, your arms, hands, shoulders. Relax your neck and your head. Take a few deep breaths. Slowly breathe in and breathe out. Again, slowly breathe in and breathe out. Imagine a garden that is surrounded with beautiful and colorful flowers. The sky is clear blue. Now imagine yourself sitting in the middle of this garden. Feel the light, fresh breeze touching your skin. Imagine a very bright light surrounding you in all directions. Feel the presence of divine love. Babanam kevalam, Babanam kevalam, Babanam kevalam, Babanam kevalam,
Ask it. I don't know how to.
Maintain this devotional flow and internally recite the mantra Bhavanam Kevalam. Slowly open your eyes. Namaskar, everyone. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of the program today. Namaskar.
Thank you, Malati. That was so beautiful and very inspiring. We have come to the end of the Footprints of P.R. Sarkar presentation. Over the past few weeks, we covered in a nutshell the writings and teachings of our Guru, Sri P.R. Sarkar. Prabhat Ranjan Sarkar is considered to be one of the greatest thinkers of the 20th century. He made a profound impression on many people who met him or were close to him during his life, and many who never met him in person. One can learn about his thoughts and ideas in more than 200 of his books and see videos of him giving spiritual discourses on the internet. Yet for most people, he remains a mystery. Sri P.R. Sarkar provides straightforward and rational answers to many vital questions. One becomes overwhelmed with emotion when one tries to describe the vastness of the written treasure he left behind. We hope we have perhaps increased your curiosity to know more about his amazing life and teachings. Finally, I would like to express my deep appreciation and gratitude. And firstly, this goes always to my Guru, Sri Sri Anandamurti Ji, for affording us the opportunity and the resources to make this presentation possible. To you, our audience, we have requested you to give up your most important resource, your time, to be present at our celebration. We are so grateful and honored that you are in the room. Our highly efficient tech support, Sita, we would be lost without you. Thank you. Procrastination is the thief of time, and so to our team leader, Sumintra, thank you for your coaxing, support, and guidance. Your words of encouragement and advice kept us sane while chasing deadlines. To Manju, all the way from New Zealand, your support, encouragement, and assistance in bringing the session together is deeply appreciated. Thank you ever so much for sacrificing your time, which, given the time zones, meant you had to sacrifice your sleep. To all our presenters, a lot of effort was put into your presentations. Well done and thank you. Malati from Hawaii, the guided meditation, kirtan explanation, and the singing of the kirtan was purely divine. We are grateful that you added so much value to our presentation. And with heartfelt love and respect to the person behind the idea of the presentation of the footprints of P.R. Sarkar, Shakuntala, thank you for your spiritual guidance. A humble request is for you to please post the title of the presentation and your questions or comments on the email brojivanesh@gmail.com. Answers to your questions will be emailed to you within a few days. We hope that all of you can join us again soon, as we have a lot more coming your way. On the 5th of September, we will begin our presentation on a tribute to Krishna. We would appreciate it deeply if you could join us. Please take a few more minutes to listen to the kirtan we have selected to play out with. Namaskar.
Namaskar, everybody, and thank you so much for joining us with our presentation today. Everyone have a blessed afternoon and stay safe.
Namaskar. Thank you.
Thank you, Sita.